questions. If you have comments, we'll take those if we have time at the end. And we just encourage you to ask respectful questions. We know that all these volunteers have given their time as a volunteer today. So I'll start with our first question. If you have a question for a particular panelist, please let me know who it is.
I'm going to stand up and talk. I certainly appreciate all the great people who have come down here to speak about the Abrahamic religion process, including one gentleman, a young man who is a Sufi. Sufi obviously. I come from with the very fact that I'm wearing a South Indian dress for the fact I'm a Hindu Brahmin. These two gentlemen are very knowledgeable about a lot of Hindu systems. And unfortunately, one of the things that was not covered under this 1.5 hours was the very topic of the subject matter, what is death?
So what is the death of religion?
Yes.
What is the death of religion?
What is it?
We actually had several panelists address that. So do you have a specific question today? Because I know that there are other people also who have questions.
I do have it.
Yes.
If you don't have the time, I will hand over the monitor. Take it, please.
Well, what is your specific question?
I have a lot of questions.
So one.
More questions are not answered about this. I'm talking about, you talked about spiritualism. I come from a background of Hinduism, which is 5,000 some years old, which spiritualism is a very tenet of human beings. And that I don't have a question, but the question I was that nobody answered me. There was a question, could somebody answer that for me, please?
So I'm just, what was the question? It was that spirituality is the very tenet? I'm just clarifying.
There is a very different meaning for spiritualism and spirituality. One is a noun, the other is a different kind of thing. If somebody can tell me about it, I would like to listen to it and tell me what your perspective is. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Spirituality versus spiritualism, I think.
Oh, well, I don't know if I could answer to that question, but I could perhaps appreciate your question and your comment. As also someone noticing how much this panel, just based on who we are and where we are, has been really grounded in speaking of religion from the Abrahamic traditions. And I believe that if we had had panelists speaking from Buddhism or Hinduism, we would have a very different... We tend to think in the United States that we know what we're talking about when we're talking about religion. And that we have a shared definition of religion, but we tend to obscure the extent to which that has been shaped by the predominance of Christianity in the United States. So.
Thank you, sir, for your question. And often... Thank you.
Great thinkers and great leaders, and young man, I like you.
Thank you. Blessings and goodwill to you, sir. And just to clarify, it is often quite challenging to get panelists to be, because it's in the middle of the day. So if you know someone who would like to be a panelist, certainly see me afterwards. We love to have panelists from different faith traditions, and this is how this particular panel ended up being today. So I know that Ed, we have a question from you.
I'll make it quick. Is the death of religion, or leaving religion, religious, or is it part of an overall societal thing in this country? I'm talking about the U.S., where people are tending to become more and more disillusioned with institutions that have been around for a long time. For example, people are leaving the Democratic and Republican parties in droves and registering as independents. So is this part of an overall greater trend in the society, or is it strictly religious?
Thank you.
I think part of what we're seeing is not necessarily just the lay people becoming disinterested in the idea of spirituality and faith. It's because they're noticing corruption in the leadership of organized religion. Okay, and so what happens is that, and I remember just recently watching, I don't know if anyone is familiar with John Oliver, who has a program where he critiques society and he makes criticisms about a lot of things happening in today's day and age. He recently did a critique of these mega churches that ask their congregants and even people who watch them on televised broadcasts for money. And they ask them for money and they say that God will bless you if you give us money. And then when you give them money, they send follow-up mail to your home address asking for more money. And they just keep asking you for money, and they tell you that if you give us money, God will bless you. God will cure your illnesses. God will get rid of your debt. This is, in my opinion, this is wrong. And people notice things like this and they say, church has become a business. Religion has become a business. There are people trying to profit off of my desire to have a relationship with God. So it's not just people being disinterested, it's people being upset.
Anyone else on that particular question?
The truth.
Okay. Yes.
This question actually is for Johnny.
Okay.
I'm a Baha'i, which means I also am a Hindu, a Buddhist, Christian, Muslim, Jew, and I have a kind of sad thing. Tonight there was supposed to be a screening of a film. I don't know if anyone has heard about this. It's called Love is a Verb, and it didn't get enough publicity, or it didn't sell enough tickets to actually make it. And I'm hoping this gentleman will show it again. It's based in the Sufi traditions. It's a wonderful thing. And also in our scripture, how quotes Rumi was a Sufi poet. But I wonder, and I want to know if there's any way we could kind of support this project. It's very important.
I am familiar with the film. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, although many people have been recommending it to me. It's sad to hear that that there wasn't enough marketing to actually show that and screen that film this evening. I'd like to speak to you after the event if possible, because my organization, Sun Devils Are Better Together at ASU, hosts free public events on campus all the time, and we have a pretty large network of students who come to most things that we do. So I'd be very interested in doing a film screening at the university. Thank you.
Yes, right at the, oh, right there, thank you.
Yes, I see that there's a lot of decadence in our society today. I see that the topic, the death of religion, and I feel that our culture has something to do with it. And I say this, and then I get to my question. I say this because we see our youth getting involved in various types of music and different social lifestyles. And it seems like it's going down. Case in point, a lot of the music and entertainment, has a lot of disrespect to women, a lot of disrespect to adults, parents. There's a lot of different, terminology to describe different ethnic groups and things like that. I see a lot of that being put out there by the media. The media blasts it. Our children see it, hours and hours and hours a day. But I don't see the leaders in the religious groups that are stepping out and speaking out against this and doing things to either tone it down, shut it off, or we believe in freedom of expression and all that. But I don't see enough of the leaders, especially in the religious groups, doing or saying anything about it. And I guess my question is, why is that?
Okay, thank you. Who would like to respond to that? Thank you.
I think for so long, the church, the message that they have given is what we are against. I think it's time for us to not say what we're against, but what we're for. Because if we say what we are against, as you mentioned, there's so many things in this world right now that are going against the right thing. What they're calling wrong, right. And there's so many of it. Every day something new comes up. So if we're going to try to, as you mentioned, approach it with the message of this is what we are against, I believe that's another reason why people are becoming de-churched, because all they hear is condemnation, and this is what we are against. I believe it's time for us to start speaking, what are we for? We are for life, we are for joy, we are hope for eternity, we are this is the things that we are for the family, we are for the traditions of the family, positive things that all of us have talked about, that the traditional religion wants to inject in our lives. So I believe one way we could, our religious leaders could combat this, start talking about what we are for. What are the good things about the religion that we have? What do we do for the society that is good?
This question is...
James wanted to say something on that.
Kind of an overview of what we've been just discussing. I feel the answer is living the golden rule. When all of our faith groups, all of our churches, all of our leaders can grasp living out the golden rule, our world will change.
Thank you. Larry.
Preston, this is for you. You eloquently surveyed the question. I'm videographer for the Arizona Interfaith Movement, and I do a lot of videos with the Church of Christ at Latter-day Saints, particularly your youth projects, things that you do. I'm always intrigued with your people because you're doing fabulous things. You're young people in the projects. I'm curious because of what you just spoke about in terms of family night and in terms of your early childhood testimonials, etc. Do you see a trend of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints declining in America, or because of what your mission and evangelism, do you see it increasing?
You know, I cannot speak for the church as a whole in the United States of what we're seeing, but the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is growing and continues to grow and continues to develop all over the world. Within the United States, I can't give you an exact answer, but I can tell you that there are more people from what I see in my local area coming into the church than I do see leaving the church. And actually more people coming back to the church after they've gone out and done their own spiritual journey.
Would you say these are new people that are coming in, or are they more returnees?
I would probably say that it's both,
Okay.
both equal amount.
I know, sir, I see your hand in the back, and I'm so sorry that we are actually out of time because Dr. Paul has given me the hand that says I need the microphone, and I must obey our executive director, because if I don't, I will get the hook. So I want to thank all of our panelists. Let's give them a round of applause again. And I'm affirming that they will be able to stick around for a moment after Dr. Paul has done his announcement. But if you would just, after Dr. Paul speaks, if you would just give us a few minutes as usual to take our picture and then be with the panelists, that would be lovely. Very quickly, to let you know, our next Faith Forum is on November the 17th. It's back to a Tuesday. The topic is forbidden foods. Ooh, just in time for Thanksgiving. So if you'd like to know more about that, check out our website.
Okay, I want to say again, thank you to this incredible panel. Each one of you has done a superb job. And Dr. Sarat, I have 2 masters from Princeton. I have a doctor's degree, but I would love to come
Study.
and study.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My name is Paul Ebinger, and had the privilege of founding the Arizona Interfaith Movement 20 years ago in 1995. And I've always been very, very active. Up to 2 years ago, I was running 2 or 3 miles a day. And then a year ago, jogging a little bit. And then I was diagnosed in May with ALS, which is the Lou Gehrig's disease, and that's the thing that causes me to be in this chair. I can't walk. can't stand. In our apartment, I walk around with the walker just a few steps, and then whenever we're out away from there, I've got to be in a chair. But I want to say to you all, thank you so very, very much. And do all of you have this kind of a sheet? Okay. On the front side, you can see the picture of the license plate. If you don't have one of the Golden Rule license plates, be sure and get one. The way it works is, and this is true of all spatial license plates, you pay $25 for your license plate to, should it be a child or all the others, and to each organization that sponsors the license plate, they charge you $25 for the plate. The state keeps $8. The state gives the organization $17. So it's the way we stay afloat. So if you don't have one of those license plates, and the main thing is, it becomes a traveling billboard for living the Golden Rule. Now on the back of your sheet, I just want to lift up a couple of things that are at the top of the page. Next month, April 15 through 19, is the Parliament of the World's Religions in Salt Lake City. And that started in 1893, 120 years ago. But then moved, we repeated it in 1993. I now have the privilege of serving on the board of directors. If there is any way you can get to Salt Lake City, it will be an incredible opportunity. There will be 8,000 or 10,000 people there from around the world, from all kinds of different faith groups. And our own group, the AGREE program, which is the Arizona Golden Rule.
Educational experience.
Educational experience, thank you. But they're going to be making a presentation, and then Arizona Interfaith will be making a presentation. If you can, in any way, get to Salt Lake City, October 16 and 19, there is going to be a spatial luncheon, pattern after an hour Golden Rule banquet on Sunday, October the 18th. The Dalai Lama will be the speaker. It's going to be a great, great event. Then November the 5th, you can see November the 5th is Experience Interfaith. It will be at the Heritage Park. We invite you to come and be there. The Sikh religion provides the food, and we'll all be sitting on the floor after the Sikh tradition, except for those of us who are infirm or elderly or both, or there's be tables and chairs. But that'll be an incredible event. And then on January the 13th, it's the kick-off luncheon for the Super Bowl of Caring. S-O-U-P-E-R, Super Bowl of Caring. It'll be at St. Vincent de Paul, and we're looking for 700 people. This is the 50th football game, the Super Bowl. So we are inviting anyone that can to contribute $50 for this incredible lunch. If you don't have $50, come anyway. We want to kick off this Super Bowl of Caring to raise money for soup kitchens around the state. So that's the 13th. Then on April the 7th is the Golden Rule Awards Banquet, and that always is such a great event. We invite you to be there. Now, because of my illness, this will be
This is Paul's last faith forum. We hope to be here to attend, but he will no longer be the director after October 31st. Thank you.
Paul, we love you, we support you, and we know that the God of your understanding is with you.
Can I just do a PS, please? Okay. Thank you. Over here on the table, we have some cards for Experience Interfaith, and I just have to quote Paul because I know that every year we have Experience Interfaith where we have an opportunity to come together in small circles and better understand each other. He ends that event with saying something about his vision that this kind of experience could become global. And I just hope that you'll help us to spread the word, take some of these cards with you and pass them out and come and join us. We're going to have some new features at this one where we'll be streaming the event, and maybe your wish will become true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I just do this real quick?
Oh.
I'm Nancy Splain from the Attitudes campus, and we shared that wonderful place together as a residence, and I am working there. But I wanted to share with you, some of you have gotten it, Anne's already sent out, that this Saturday at 11 o'clock, we are going to be doing a concert with wonderful dancers and musicians and youth from different ethnic groups in our valley in commemoration of that annual observance of the International Day of Peace. Each and every one of you are more than invited. I have some flyers here, and I wanted to be able to share that today because, of course, Paul, in founding the Arizona Interfaith Movement, and he and Sybil's great living out those promises we all find in whatever faith tradition is very central to our golden rule, has inspired an awful lot of people, including me. And one reason the Beatitudes campus is doing this for now our second year is because of Paul's inspiration and support our first year. So we hope many of you can join us on Saturday morning.
Thank you.